Hey there, good afternoon. This is Kim the Realtor, LO, aka Key. I am dropping some real tea on today regarding cash in the mortgage process or even in buying real estate. And so the big question is isn't cash king? Isn't the fact that I have cash or mattress money or money I've been saving or that I got a whole bunch of money for my birthday party, isn't that key? And I'm going to let you know that cash is not king when you have to fund real estate. All right. When you're dealing with a mortgage lender and you are buying a property and you want to say that I have my down payment, I have my closing costs, I've been saving it and I've been saving it in cash. Well, that money is not traceable. And because it's not traceable, it could have been used in all kinds of mischief. That's the best way to say it. And because it could have been used in mischief, it's not traceable. And so, because it's not traceable, it cannot then be used in that transaction because any monies, any sources of monies have to be tracked as to where the monies came from. And that's why mortgage lenders will ask you for 2 month worth of your bank statements. Because if there's just a deposit of cash dumped into your bank account and it's large amounts, even above $200, you will be questioned of where that money came from and if you can provide a source, meaning a check stub of where this money came from. Did it come from another bank account? Well, we need to see that transaction from it being transferred or being taken out via a cashier's check, money order, and then being deposited into your account. But if it's just money that's been laying under the mattress and you've been just stuffing it or grandma been holding it for you, that money will not work. It will actually not be counted towards the monies that you need for closing or down payment. All right, so let's talk about if you have cash to buy a property. Woo! If I had some confetti, I would be throwing up some confetti for you because yes, you can use cash to buy a property. Now, you cannot bring cash to a title company to buy it, but if you have cash in your bank account, you can use that then to wire the monies to buy a property. I just had a client that did that on this past Friday. She bought a $479,000 property and she paid cash for it, but that money was already sitting in her bank account. So it was sourced. It was seasoned. It had been sitting there for a couple of months. But when you're buying a property in cash, you don't have to worry about the seasoning. And seasoning meaning the timing that it's been sitting in your account. You just wire the money to the title company and you pay for the house in full. That transaction, whereas a mortgage was going to take you about 30 to 45 days, in some instances, 21 days. My company, we could do you in 21 days. But if you're doing it with cash, you can typically close in 2 weeks. How does that work? Why does it take 2 weeks? Why can't I do it the same day? Well, you have to allow time for the seller to provide you with the title, because you want to review the title, make sure there are not any outstanding liens. And if there are outstanding liens, that the title company is addressing them and making sure that they are clear through the payoff of this property. The other thing, you want to make sure that they give you a survey. A survey shows you what's the property boundaries, what you own, how much land you own. Can I put a fence here? Or if there's no garage, can I put up a garage here? Is this my land that I'm laying claims to? And so that survey, lost my train of thought. That survey tells you where your property lines are, and so you need to give the seller time to be able to provide you with that. You also are going to want to do an inspection on the property, even when you're doing a mortgage. Within the first 5 days, you get an inspection done on the property, and so cash being king, not all the time. But if you're buying a property directly, then yes. But if you're buying it through financing, no, your monies must be sourced in season. It must have been in your account for over 2 months. Now, if you're getting a tax return, that is one that is verifiable. Most of it is going into your account electronically. And so that electric path shows where that money is coming from. Do you have to worry about that, or does it have to be sourced as seasoned? No, it doesn't have to be seasoned. It doesn't have to wait in your account for 2 months. It's just anything within those 2 months that has been deposited by cash. You're going to have to prove where that money came from. If someone is paying you back, maybe you gave somebody cash and they're paying you back money, that should always be done electronically because it shows from one account to another account. All right. And even in that, you may need what's called an LOX, a letter of explanation that explains I lent so and so this money and they're paying me back. And they may have to send another LLX to say, yes, I borrowed this money from someone and I'm paying them back as of this day from this bank account. So your transactions need to be clear. And with cash under the mattress, it's not so clear. It's not so clear that that money didn't come from a bad decision or a bad move or even some malfeasance. And so we want to be very, very careful of what we're doing, how we're doing it, and just keep your records clean. Keep your keep the money that's flowing in your accounts clean, because you want to be able to answer clearly for them quickly. And if you're paying cash to buy a property, well, you can do that, but you're still going to have to wire that money through your bank account. You cannot bring a sack of money to the closing. I remember when I first became a loan officer over 20 years ago, there was a grandmother and I was 2004. Yeah, 2004. I was a grandmother that was bringing her grandbaby money to close on a property, and she was bringing it wrapped up in a sack for all the money that she had saved. Well, back then, you needed to verify your funds. Why? Because so many people are doing things under the radar. Some of them is money laundering. Some of it is paying Al Qaeda and doing all kind of crazy stuff, and they're getting returns on that type of stuff. Well, in that instance, that's what the U.S. government is trying to avoid. And so let's keep everything above board, knowing that cash is king, but it still has to go through the proper channels in order to be used properly in a real estate transaction. So that's the tea for today. I hope that was good information for you. Listen, come back, view our other videos. If you have any questions, comments, I'm always here to answer your questions. My number is listed. Let me just show it to you. My number is listed. My email, as well as my web address, is there for you. I'm here for you to serve you well. I serve my clients in Illinois, Indiana, and in Georgia for loans and for real estate in Illinois and in Indiana. However, I can help you all over. I have a network, a team of women and men that can help you in your real estate needs. So I'm always willing to assist you or to help get you some information. And even if you're handling a transaction in another state, or you're with someone else and you just need a voice that you believe in, a voice that you trust, listen, I'm more than willing and able to answer your questions for you, to help you through the transaction. All right. So I pray that you are encouraged to go out there, buy property, buy multiple family properties, so that you can start living in the abundance and have great return of investments coming to you. Is cash king? Not all the time. Having it in your bank account is great, and being able to purchase cash is great. You can have a quicker transaction. But if you're going through mortgage financing, make sure it's sourced and seasoned. Have an amazing evening, and I'll talk to you soon.